In today's video, we're diving into how you can pocket some serious cash by opting for watches that nearly mirror the creme de la creme of Rolex timepieces. It's about getting that Rolex vibe, without your wallet taking a nosedive. Let's face it, there's something irresistible about the Rolex Submariner with its sleek stainless steel look, storied past, and that sprinkle of prestige. But, oh, that price tag and the legendary wait lists can be a buzzkill. Now let's talk alternatives. What if you snag a Tudor Black Bay or an Omega Seamaster Diver 300M, aiming to satisfy that Submariner-sized hole in your heart? Both are top-notch watches, no doubt about it, and they'll probably turn heads at your next dive. But here's the thing. No matter how stellar they aren't the Submariner. You might find that over time your heart still whispers Rolex. It's one of those things logic doesn't always win. Technically superior? Maybe. Better value? Possibly. But if we were all about rational choices, we'd probably just grab a Casio, slap it on our wrist, and be done with it. Before we dive into our hand-picked alternatives, remember, some might prefer to save up, go big, and skip the substitutes to sidestep any buyer's remorse. Our selection criteria? We're keeping it modern, practical for daily wear, and without the fragility often associated with vintage pieces. You'll find these alternatives readily available if you do a little hunting. And yes, we're talking about watches that come with their boxes and papers and are sold by reputable dealers. Number 1, Submariner Date. Kicking off our list, we've got the Rolex Submariner Date, model number 126610LN. This beauty hit the shelves in 2020, and if you're looking to get your hands on one, it'll set you back around $12,650, depending on its history and condition. Now, if you're after a bit of a bargain, you might consider its older sibling, the 40mm reference 114060. This model ran from 2012 until 2020 and skips the date feature, which might just save you around $2,520. Visually, they're nearly twins. The biggest tweak? It's all in the lugs, the 114060 sports wider ones. And while the bracelet on the older model starts at 20mm and tapers to 16mm, the newer one begins a tad broader at 21mm, narrowing down to 17mm. Truth be told, the size difference between the 41mm current model and the 40mm previous one is barely a hair's breadth, less than 1mm. It's like comparing two nearly identical delicious pies. Only one has a slightly flakier crust. Now, for the car enthusiasts out there, the evolution of the Submariner is a bit like the Porsche 911, subtle upgrades but always staying true to that iconic design. Rolex even kicked up the new model's movement with a power reserve boost from 48 hours to a solid 70. Although, let's be real, that's not likely to make or break your day. Number 2, Explorer II Polar White. Now, for those of you who prefer rocky adventures over the deep blue sea, the Explorer II might just catch your eye, especially in its striking polar white guise. The latest version, reference 226570, debuted in 2021, and it's fetching just a tad over its sticker price at around $11,370. But if you're looking to keep some of that hard-earned cash in your pocket, you might want to glance at the previous generation. Visually, they're almost like seeing double. Just as the Submariner got a facelift in 2020, the Explorer II wasn't left behind. It saw subtle refinements to the case and bracelet, plus a beefed-up movement boasting a longer power reserve. The newer model sports slightly slimmer lugs and kicks off with a 22mm bracelet, up from 21mm, creating a sleeker line and smoother wrist transition than its predecessor. Despite its 42mm size, this watch doesn't feel bulky at all, thanks to its svelte 12.5mm profile. Now, for the penny pinchers among us, consider this. The black dial version, in production from 2011 to 2021, could shave off about $1,890 from the price tag of a new white dial. It's like choosing between vanilla and chocolate ice cream. Both are delicious, but one might just be a little sweeter on your wallet. A fun fact about the black dial: its hands have a slick black coating at the center, giving them a neat floating effect, unlike the uncoated, fully visible white gold on the new model. Before we show off our next timepiece, why not join the Opulent Oasis family so you can stay ahead with our exclusive content? Subscribe now. Number 3. Daytona Panda. For those of you dreaming of snagging the crown jewel of chronographs, let's chat about the steel Panda Daytona, reference 126500LN, fresh out of the Rolex oven in 2023. This stunner might just be the toughest ticket in town when it comes to steel sports watches, thanks to its star power and scant supply. With a market tag hovering around $36,570, it's definitely not pocket change. This latest iteration comes with a few slick upgrades like a sealed ceramic tachymeter bezel that's sharp enough to make a tech geek weep, and a slimmed-down look to the subdials and batons that whispers vintage but screams high-tech. The case has been tweaked for symmetry, featuring flat-ended, symmetrical lugs and sharper, more defined crown guards that throw a nod to Daytona's storied past. If the Daytona is your ultimate watch crush, but spending over $36,000 seems a tad steep, why not rewind a bit? Way back to the 116520, which graced wrists from 2000 to 2016. This model keeps the iconic 40mm case and oyster bracelet, but swaps in a polished steel bezel and silver subdials for a dash of old-school cool. Plus, it debuted Rolex's in-house movement, the caliber 4130, a legend in its own right that's been ticking strong for over 2 decades. You can snag one of these vintage beauties for around $22,050, and if you're team black dial, your wallet might just get a bit more relief. Number 4. GMT Master II Pepsi. If you're on the hunt for a pilot's watch that's high-flying in every sense, the GMT Master II, affectionately dubbed the Pepsi for its distinctive red and blue bezel, is a showstopper. This Rolex isn't just a timepiece, it's a statement. However, snagging one is as tough as getting a front-row seat at a blockbuster premiere. With its classic 40mm frame and a Jubilee band that harks back to the iconic Datejust of 1945, it's no wonder everyone wants one. Right now, expect to shell out around $21,420 for the pleasure of sporting a Pepsi on your wrist. But here's a thought. If you're willing to swap that iconic half-red bezel for a sleek black one, you might just keep an extra $4,725 in your pocket by opting for the Batman model instead. Why Batman? Well, with its oyster bracelet, it's got a touch more of a rugged Knight of the Night vibe. We always thought it should have been named Bruce Wayne for its more suave, suit-friendly look, especially before the new black and grey GMT came into play. But let's not get too sidetracked. Now, if you're really in the mood to mix things up and the oyster band calls to you, consider the original Batman, the reference 116710BLNR. This gem was in the spotlight from 2013 to 2018 and could save you a whopping $7,560 compared to Pepsi. While the blue and red bezel of the Pepsi might still call your name, and if it does, by all means, wait for it. But if you're looking for a deal, either the Jubilee Batman or the original Oyster Batman could be your ticket to enjoying a GMT Master II. Plus, think of all the extra cash you could use to jet off and create memories with your new companion. Now that's something that might just end up being priceless. Number 5. Datejust 41 Wimbledon. So perhaps the adrenaline-pumping vibe of a sports model isn't quite your speed, and you're looking for a Rolex that fits just as comfortably under a business cuff as it does by the poolside. Enter the Datejust, a true Rolex staple with the Datejust 41 leading the pack. The combo that everyone's clamoring for? That would be the Jubilee bracelet paired with a white gold fluted bezel. Among the sought-after dials, the mint green and the Wimbledon are currently the fan favorites, fetching premiums that start around $13,860. Now, while the 41mm is hitting the sweet spot for many, let's not forget the classic 36mm that ruled as the men's standard for ages. We've got to say, the 36mm has a certain elegance that just nails the classy look on the wrist. Opt for this size with a clean white or sophisticated black dial, and you're looking at about $10,690, saving you a neat $3,170 compared to its larger sibling. For those of you hunting for even more value in the Datejust line, turn your attention to the reference 116234, Launched back in 2005 and wrapping up in 2018, this model sports a subtly beefier case than the current 36 and features a concealed clasp on the Jubilee bracelet for that ultra-sleek, uninterrupted look. It's a design choice that just might win over your heart and wallet. These can be snagged starting at around $8,180, which could keep a cool $5,680 in your bank account compared to the 41mm Wimbledon. If you're curating a collection or dreaming up one, throwing a 36mm into the mix could add a neat twist of diversity to your larger sports watches. If you've stuck with us this long, why not dive into the comments? Let us know your thoughts and any sleeper hits in the watch world you think are worth a shout. If this video hits the mark for you, go ahead and smash that like button. Want more where this came from? Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you on the flip side in our next adventure.